My name is Blayne Pacelli, and this is my community highlight. This is Shanna and Matt. I've known Shanna for a very long time. She's an amazing woman in her own right. She helps me with my social marketing, and she was telling me about a book that her and Matt are working on, and I was really excited about it, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Sure, we're really excited. So I had this little idea of this children's book, and it was about a little girl and a cat, and it was about, letting girls know that they can be whatever it is they want to be in life, right? So I didn't know what to do with it. I had this idea, and it was just an idea, and I am not creative. I can't draw a stick man. I can't draw anything. I wish I could. I cannot.
I'm terrible.
So I was looking for some way to make this little project happen. And I thought about the school and where they're training these young people to have technical skills. And so I called my friend who works at the school at the AFA Hub, and I was like, hey, do you know anybody who is an illustrator who can make these characters come to life? And she's like, I know a guy. I know a guy named Matt. So that's how I got connected to Matt. And the first thing I saw was a short film that Matt had done. And it's a great little short film, and what's it called?
Princess Dance.
Princess Dance.
Really?
And it's about,
see it today.
oh, it's so cute, and it's like about this little talent show for animals, and it's adorable. But what it did was it showed me his talent, and it showed me the reason that I hired Matt over anybody else is because he really has a beautiful understanding of relationships between kids and animals.
Yeah.
And so I saw his work in the film, and I was like, this is the guy I want to talk to. So Matt and I met, and we started working on this book project together, and Matt has basically brought this whole book to life by just bringing these characters that were just in my head. He's created them, and created the whole world and everything, and so we have this little book that's now almost ready to come out.
When do you think it is going to come out?
Soon. We're almost done. We're finishing blocking out the book right now. We'll have a print in a couple weeks.
Very cool. I'm excited.
So
I can't wait for it.
right?
Hey, thank you very much.
So with these characters, how did you come up with the characters that you drawn? I mean, they're pretty amazing.
I started very simple from creating the shapes and the design based on my simple drawing styles.
Okay.
And I always after I draw them simple, I always try my best into creating the details to whatever ideas I could think of them of what their hair will be like, their eyes, the features, the clothes, and the color as well.
And he did some research too, because Matt was great because I was able to just bring an idea, give him some concepts. Like for example, my cat, but
yes.
I wanted it to favor my cat. So I was like, hey, I want it to kind of look like my cat, a tuxedo kind of style cat. My cat's gray and white, and I showed him a picture of my cat. But then he took that and he did this research on cats and how they move and how they respond to things, and then he turned that into a character. Right? And then with the little girl, the same thing. So you came up with ideas for what her hair would look like. I said, okay, I think she might have blue eyes. That's one thing we talked about. And I kind of wanted to play on when I was a child. And then gave him some ideas for mom, but he totally turned it into these characters. Can we show them? I think we have it on there.
That would be awesome.
Let's show them that. So this is Selena. This is our main character that Matt came up with. And so when he's designing, he basically was able to just come up with different, he came up with a character, then he did colorization and different versions of it, and then we settled on one. And so this is you can see the development, how it starts as just line drawing. And then he decides, okay, well, we'll pick these glasses, and we made those decisions together and chose colors. He would come with color suggestions, and we would say, because that's one thing we really talked about too, Matt, was the colors in the world, right? How we wanted the world to feel.
Wow.
And so we ended up going with comfortable colors that hopefully would make people feel comfortable. That it was a safe home environment. That's one of the things we talked about, right? Was that she lived in a safe home where mom was supportive and wanted her to dream, wanted her to play and be creative and right? So that's important, right? You don't think about that. All those choices go in there. You don't just sit down and draw. You think about what are we trying to say, right? What are we trying to say about each character? What are we trying to say about the world? What's the message of the story?
So what is the message of the book? What is
the story explains how children, like they still have like a huge imagination that they could be anything, even a cat.
I want to be a cat
I like
most
that.
days.
I know you
Right?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, and that's what I love about it, Matt, too. You know, Matt in his personal life has overcome things. We've all overcome things to
Yeah.
become who it is that we are today. Matt had to overcome things to become an artist. I had to
Yeah.
overcome things to do what I do. You same here,
Oh,
right?
Definitely.
I mean, that's part of what life is. And he really got a hold of that. And I thought that was what was really lovely about his work in the book is he understood what I was trying to say,
Yeah.
and then he brought it to life so that we can share the story with children and adults, right?
Yep.
Because that's one of the things we talked about. We're like, we want adults when they're reading it too to be challenged.
Yeah.
So remember to be creative, to remember to dream, right, Matt?
Yeah, like remembering their childhoods.
Yeah.
Like how they also like had imagination. They can believe, and it makes the adults feel like kids again.
So when this book is done, how would someone go about getting it?
We're setting up a Facebook page and things for it, and a website. I think we're gonna have some printed copies. And here's the cool thing: because it's digital art, and you know me, I love video, I love social content, and all this kind of stuff. Because it's digital art, we're also gonna take those images and turn it kind of into a little mini movie, to where it'll have the voice will read it. There'll be some sound effects,
Very
and
cool.
you'll see the story happen. So it'll be kind of like a little short film as well. So you can either get a printed copy or read
Yeah.
it with your child,
Okay.
or you can actually show them almost like on an iPad.
That's
It could be
exciting.
like a little movie, a little book, bedtime story that's inspiring for girls and boys and adults too. We hope, right?
Hey, like,
Let's inspire everybody.
Yeah. yeah, I like that idea too,
Yeah.
Shanna. Like, every story always starts with a book, and then
Yes.
and then it'll later become a movie.
It happens a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Who knows what this might start? mean,
I know.
first
We've already
book.
got ideas. He just started
Yeah.
working on characters for a second book, so if we
We
can
did.
sell some of these,
Yeah, we'll
one
hear
of the
about that
things we
later.
want to do is hire him to
Yeah.
do a second book, maybe on a little story about a little boy and a little pig. So cute. I just got this sketches of the pig and it's so cute.
Let me ask you, are you available if anybody else want to hire you as your talent?
Of course, like
Yeah.
I'm a very reliable and hard worker.
Yeah, no, I
Yes,
can
he
see
is.
that, and amazing. And could you teach us how to get past the stick figure stage?
I don't know about
Because
that.
Well,
I ruin stick figures. That's how bad I am.
I could try. Like,
Because I'll try hard.
if anyone needs any drawing lessons.
But that's what he does, and that's why you know me. I'm a big fan of inclusion, and I think that we all have abilities, we all have different skills, and this would have never happened without
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah, no.
It would have never happened without
Yeah.
Matt. And I think that if other people have dreams in their head of like children book ideas or a character that has been playing in their head but they don't know how to bring it to life, that you can hire someone like that to bring that to life for you. And I have to say, he has been such an inspiration to me. I have been just challenged, motivated, and inspired by this young man
I can see
and
why.
working with him. So I would encourage anybody that wants to hire an illustrator to work with Matt. He's incredible. We'll post some stuff.
Yes.
You know what, you can reach out to my company and I'll put them in touch with Matt. And that way they can see part of his work, his portfolio as well.
Okay, perfect.
And and reach out and,
I'm
and
sure
work
there'll be
with
a lot
him
of
through
people
the
who
school
might
and
be excited to work with
everything.
you on this kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Of course.
He's a
Yeah.
dream maker, this guy. I just had a little dream and he made it come to life. It's amazing.
Hey, dream big.
Well, it was really exciting to see your work because it's pretty spectacular, and I can't wait to see the finished product of this book.
And on my website, we have a page
Thank
on the
you.
book, and
Yeah.
there will be a link to get a hold of Matt if they want to use him for work.
What was that website again?
Forrestallconsulting.com.
Okay.
And the book is called Why the Girl Became a Cat.
Oh.
Yep, like the characters are just very adorable and inspiring. Like just the way I designed them. Like hey, I hope the children would really love it.
I'm sure they're gonna love it. I'm sure my daughter's gonna love it too. So I can't wait to show her. So, and I thank you so much for coming out today because this work is really special. Thank you both.
Yes.
Of course.
My name is Blayne Pacelli. This concludes my community highlight. How can I help you?